if we don't start dealing with the realities of the situation, it is a finance minister.
Yes.
And no, yes. I want us all to say hands on deck. Onyame nhyira this current finance minister. Onyame nkosoma na kokuduro a obetimi dia ka no kore na waye na djuma pepepe.
Asempa FM.
Onyame ndom no more ideas obetimi dia generate sika. Ama nyuma kese opeso yema Ghana no. Watimi ayesa nyuma ne dia ma Ghana. In fact, I am sure by the close of their first term, so Ghana phone him.
Yes.
He will go down in history as one of Ghana's finest finance ministers.
Atta finance minister Atta Forson. In fact, Adio is beyond imagination to the extent say Obi of Asempa FM Ababontin Ababe Bonabasu and Obi Nkwa Oma Hene on also the Nidia Ababe Somoa Nidia Oma Hene Cradi he went forward at the Mpaiboni na Thai finance minister Nechi. Na me no Babe Kojest Nimu ye name say Andra and a finance minister Babe drop a year budget. Na utie budget in the moon sem utumu say a year finance minister Atta Forson. He really understand the job he's doing. A quite faso kate a year expenses on pese o main boka. In fact, infrastructures even crown or kasafa a year free SHS. Adriani umbedi ho echichim say e unhia so meto aduane outside rather than they should buy from our own people. Utiem common the way a finance minister babedi na what sign their so man for more explanation to the budget na. You can tell say no finance minister onimne jumoye. Now according to Oma Hene podie or say onu hu say finance minister no a person keep a record bia Omeka say in the history of Ghana no a finance minister onu no the finest ever. Now therefore in komo we mu no hu eye Oma Hene ababedi nkomo obi onu so ababeka na adwen na therefore utie omoni na no omo adwen me bi adwen no kona utumi hu say we nya party asemu we eye support they are all willing say no Atta Forson in vision than any so no they want to support it. Now therefore me pese betie again komo from this side I mean who's adwen cho comment anymore.
Because if we don't start dealing with the realities of the situation, it is a finance minister. And no, yes. I want us all to say hands on deck. Onyame nhyira this current finance minister. Onyame nkosoma na kokuduro a obetimi dia ka no kore na waye na djuma pepepe.
Asempa FM.
Onyame ndom no more ideas obetimi dia generate sika. Ama nyuma kese opeso yema Ghana no. Watimi ayesa nyuma ne dia ma Ghana. In fact, I am sure by the close of their first term, so Ghana phone him.
Yes.
He will go down in history as one of Ghana's finest finance minister. You know, only short force. I have issues with some of the new money be always here, but me give this obi. Sanke timi didi no krema ye ho say as Oman. Emma Nyomamu reading of the budget here as simple as the Kokosi. You are subject to say, Nyakasa na obeka kekene mo be ye ade na. What can a radi mo na o ma agini any aboafo any sika. Ni panso eskan be Kokosi omusuno. Omfa ndi djuma sefata. If it's 2027 and you be close to double track there, you release fund them a contractor for. Make sure whatever you are doing to ensure that double track be ending. Yes, sir. Those people who are always a blockade to the forward march of this country, we should punish them.
And I think Enra, I heard a lot of, for the want of a better expression, no. A lot of common sense ideas.
Well, you know, make a choice.
And I would stay on ABM, you know, but I would also sound a word, of course. And man, I think if you study an economic history,
maybe let
me finish this one. Who study economic history, we have to be a bit cautious on the numbers and the stability we are seeing. The reason is that anytime the IMF is in town, your numbers need looking very good. And I'll take you to under President Mills. You know, your longest ever single digit inflation. IMF was in town. Satana Dufo, the finance minister. And then after say exit is our program with very good numbers. In fact, in 2011, he recorded the highest ever growth. I think about 14%. Of course, largely because of oil. But IMF a free system, we messed Nioma up till 2015. Yes, I call back to IMF. You call back to IMF, Nioma EPK. I mean, you recall, say the MPP came in 2017. And inherited an IMF program. Obekaya,
it looked good.
2017, 2018, 2019.
It looked good.
Abasoba amount for airbo at Forson. Omobo Ofori Atta. And when you look at the figures, I mean, IFS, Institute of Fiscal Studies, data almost share from 2017, inflation. Now a 15.4 in 2016, Eteba 11.8, 2018 about 9.4, 2019 about 7.9. Osha GDP growth rate from 3.4 in 2016 about 8.1, 6.2, 6.5 in 2019. When the IMF program ended, time and MPP were at the SONO. Nioma Etigo in 2024, they left a growth rate of bare 5.7. But in between that time now, IMF a free hono, Nioma Ejigoi. And then the MPP had to run back to the IMF. Now the NDC is still under an IMF program. Next year, I think May or so, 2026, and the IMF program will be ending. And I've told people, say, because of your economic history, that is where you would be able to judge the things we will do on our own because this year's social figures now, fantastic figures. I mean, the mere fact, because of how this administration now managing dollar in any city, based on the non-quano, your debt stock as a country is because your loans need to be dollars mono. So why manage you dollar CD we any year? A mouse a cabby crowd more home. And when you do that well, it helps your debt stock, which is positive. But I'm saying, say, from next year when the IMF leaves, that is where the real work for me would begin. Abai Aka said they would form some kind of a local IMF, the Fiscal Responsibility Council. Na omono over see Nioma Finance Minister, Bank of Ghana, ne Obia Ebeye. If we are able to do that and do it well, then for the first time without IMF being in town, you better not treat me. We have to be a bit.
And I thank you. Say once I update you, and I have all these things also on my mind. But I'm saying that there's a clear difference between how things are going under Eura a year. ATO Forson. You can't run away from that.
Oh, of course. I mean, the mere fact that announces
you can't run away from that fact.
All primary schools, senior high schools, school feeding, Obia Antonimo, a bro, any bibia from your kind of say Ghana, important. That's a common sense policy.
The next bit is that whether capacity, because the Akufo-Addo administration, one Christmas be. They bought into that a lot
of promotion.
Yes, they bought in a short two. Bobby, let's establish this fact. This finance minister, even at the finance ministry, anyhow, he's even managing certain government expenditures. No cutting certain costs.
Asempa FM.
Anyhow, simplify your budget within and so I value the whole throughout the system. Maybe see now we are Ogusu adding to the Mumma system now. What I could do, adding the miracle the Okoka was my day. I am so hopeful, very, very hopeful that things will not fall apart. The center will keep holding, because I don't think that he wants to go down in history
as the best finance.
Yeah.
Mostly, and I think all finance ministers, I mean, apart from a few, all finance ministers were very good intentions.
Some finance
when you take over, how you handle because say keeping your tight in the last 1 year. You know the complaints from even on one colleague ministers about it. When the pressure starts next year, when the IMF that's where the real work.
Well, I respect that.
Yes.
I know say another text of a year how I want ready so manage that first. But I can tell you, me she and put that physically. But the other time it's in fact, just 4 days. Because was 2 days no according to my 400. That's how you put in the But I'm telling you today, that's a say it gives us a certain level of hope. Or some a certain level of resilience. We say Ghana na nkasa ehye ne nyoma bi yie. Enche bia Ghana na nkasa no o jira na so brane. Ama yatimi apima konka am ya be krabewe. So, my into chairman for now.
Yeah. No, I think he's done well.
Because what we have done to ourselves from 19 Kojo Obesine, every time you can be we where they say, I come back with that spirit. Because the moment you agree to that spirit, I'm pam. But the person, my minister, say, now, Agassian or hear more diligence, tactfulness, and forthrightness of ultimate deal with the Ghanaian. Because even at this ministry, connection many doors do
too much. Finance ministry.
Even at the ministry, connection many doors too much. Even at the ministry, traveling wakati amount for omufafa economy ministry for and no kasana air ban. It's even before the Ghanaians start giving you pressure. Even at your own ministry, you call the party for no. Your ministry
connection man
answer your party answer your Ghana.
Yes.
So he has just cleared maybe 20% of the 100% hurdle.
It's true.
Not too much hope for us to rely on. Even though Makacho say Monday Trasia, baby, I me did say, as I saw here, express highway, no. How the funding procedures and all those things.
No, sir, and what him say.
In terms of Forson Yamoti, and it is according to Obi of Asempa FM, any Oman Hene. Now, who team commoni dear qua? I know, say, politics, Obian in a party or supporting, but let's face the fact. The truth is the truth. Stadiani ye one, and ye one. And I really like the fact to say, Oman Hene and Obi did not put in political colors. They came in openly. In fact, they came out openly to attest to the fact to say, no, they are to force no. He's really forcing. Sanya Moka to forcing is forcing. And they're from dollar rate. Dollar rate are to forcing changing the history of Ghana to the extent say now the dollar no in fact is still working. Out of what them you na yempe. I mean, why didn't you comment? We had more updates about our queen. Subscribe, like, share video no for more gist.